Я думаю, что мой соперник очень сильный, быстрый, обладает хорошей техникой борьбы верхом, но при этом у него слабый крюк и не очень хорошая выносливость.
მე მგონი სიდიდეში მე უფრო დიდი ვარ, სიმაღლითაც, წონითაც, გაბარიტებითაც და რავი, მაგას ისედაც არ მივაქცევ ყურადღებას, შემიძლია დიდიც რო იყოს.
Я считаю, что в данном случае вес соперника не всегда играет на пользу, потому что это будет
Dead Set Legends, and welcome to the King of the Table 11 pre-show. I'm your host, the Aussie arm wrestler, Jake Warder, and I am always joined by my tag team partner in crime, Coach Ray, and of course, joining and very excited to be working with the first time ever, the mother fluffer himself, Neil Pickup. Neil, Ray, I'll start with you, Neil. we're in for a banger show.
What an event lined up. 7 of the very best. And it gets emotional early for you tonight, mate. It's all about Australia. 2 of them on the card tonight, and Ryan Blue Bowen kicks us off.
Well, it's going to be brilliant. I absolutely love it. Of course, there's people from all over the world ready to come in. We've got Australia, we've got the Ukraine, we've got the USA. We've got people from everywhere. It is world-class events. This is where modern-day gladiators go head-to-head, and of course, we all know I can't be called the Aussie arm wrestler without being slightly biased. I can't help myself, but make sure we are just under an hour away before the pay-per-view starts. So make sure you get on there. Ray, mate, we're here again. You absolutely love it. What are you looking forward to the most when it comes to these King of the Table?
I think the surprises. The surprises is the one, like, we can predict a lot of things, and I really always hope my predictions go sideways and we end up with really awesome matches. And this show has a potential to have a lot of exciting matches. The ones that's in the middle, it kind of, right, it's all writings of an absolute war and maybe match of the year. So Lars Robak and Michael Todd, I'm talking about that. The main event itself, we have the man who has defended his title so many times, Artyom Morozov versus Ivan Matyushenko. Like, I can, of course, we're starting with Ryan and Schoolboy, which, like, we have been talking about possibility of that match forever.
Yes.
So finally, we're gonna see one.
Well, I'll get you to go get Ryan for us, Ray, and I'll go to you, Neil. We'll go through the card in the moment. But if you've got to pick one, if you're like the reason you've bought the pay-per-view, what's the one that's going to steal the show, that everyone here in Dubai will be up on their feet screaming and shouting?
You know what? I actually love 2 matches equally on this card. Yeah, I'd love to pick one, but there's more than one. We got a number of incredible matches tonight, and to be honest, 2 of these really stand out for me. I'm all about finesse versus top end. I love the boxer against the puncher. I've talked about it many times. Kirigali, Onabay, Oleg Patrenko is an absolutely incredible matchup. You're going to see, arguably, the most technically proficient arm wrestler in the world right now in Kirigali, Onabay, against a genuine iron puller. A man who is all about the raw, the top-end strength in Oleg Patrenko. What is that smell? It's Ryan Bowen, ladies and gentlemen.
With the Flavor Saver mustache. Ryan, we're here. We're going to go through the card. A very rare thing for you. You're opening the show.
Man, it's a big opportunity. It's a special thing. I feel like I'm just so happy to be back. It's been over a year and a half since I've been on the core sports stage here at King of the Table. This is a good stomping ground for me. I had success here against Carla Gichelle, and I want to put the icing on it tonight by finishing Schoolboy.
And joking aside there, the smell is confidence. If you've been around this guy the last couple of days, you're exuding confidence, Ryan. You can tell that you're a man that's put the work in. And I think you expect it to pay dividends tonight, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Get them both.
Yeah, like I am feeling confident, and I really feel that the confidence is coming from discipline. In the past, I've been overly confident, and it's been detrimental to me. I've really had to reinvent myself over the last few years, both mentally, physically, and now it's just time to see if it's all come together. I trust that it has, but tonight we'll find out.
So we're talking about the best version of Ryan Bowen. This would arguably be one of the biggest structurally. You've tried to put on weight and get big, but how dense and what is your weight coming into this catchweight match with Schoolboy?
Yeah, mate, 107.8 kilos is what I weighed in 2 days ago in the morning, I think it was. This is definitely, as you said, structurally the biggest. The last 2 years has seen a lot of fundamental sort of foundation strength training, in addition to what has always been my hand and wrist. I've felt that my hand and wrist is at the elite level. I felt that my base power is not. I've hopefully rectified that.
One question I wanted to bring to you, mate. We've talked a lot, and within your career, you've seen this manifest itself. We've talked about pressure. And this is an example of a high-pressure matchup. 2 of the most popular guys on YouTube. You both sort of made your career in that platform, Ryan. Schoolboy, bigger man, younger man. Very big following on YouTube yourself. That's where you've carved out your reputation. Who's got the pressure here?
Yeah, look, I think we both have pressure, but I think he has more. At the end of the day, he is the bigger man. Everybody's I think the majority of people are voting that he's going to win this match. But look, he's also coming off a couple of losses where he was the overwhelming favourite. So he finds himself once again in a position where he's the overwhelming favourite. He's the bigger man. He should be done. There's also a thing that my brand of dream, my goal has always been very public, and I've copped a lot of criticism for it. And that in itself, that delusional tag that I've carried with me, often translates to a lot of pressure on the man across the table from me, because they don't want to lose to the delusional Ryan Bowen. So I think there's more pressure on him. There's always pressure on me as well, but in my maturity, my age, as you said, he's I think 23, I'm 39. I just feel like I'm a little better at handling this pressure.
Now, just before you joined us, mate, we were talking about matches that stood out on the card. I actually didn't say the second match, which was going to be Kamil Jablonski and Vitaly Letton. Now, there's style in matches, and there's style in matches, and your style has gravitated towards winning ugly. You may not win quickly, but you're good at winning things that turn into battles. And is that really part of the strategy tonight? And do you see that if you are successful, this is going to be a dogfight?
Yeah, it has to be for me. I respect everything that Alexander brings in terms of peak force. He's taller, he's bigger. I expect him to be that drag racing car out of the engines, out of the blocks. And look, I think the sooner I tie that man up and get it into a dogfight, the sooner the pendulum starts to swing to me. I do believe it's a long way to 4-round victories. And there's a lot of ways to make it last a long time. Slips, fouls, restarts, all sorts of things. So, schoolboy, where's your brother? You're going to make him look for his brother tonight, Neil.
Well, there it is. Ryan Bowen, superstar. It's going to be brilliant. He will be opening the match up. Thank you for joining us, mate. You get ready because we are here. Look, Neil, you can't see it, but the goosebumps are coming, and we've only just spoken about the first match. And one thing I want to ask you, Neil, while I've got you here before we keep going through the card, they've agreed to start the straps. They're going to start round one in the straps and possibly every round. What do you think the thought process was? Do you think Ryan's got away with one? Do you think Schoolboy's worried about endurance? What were your thoughts when they went, wow, they're both agreeing to straps?
I was surprised, actually. I was shocked. I was surprised. But listen, we're talking about, nobody knows these arm wrestlers like they do. Nobody is inside their head like they are. Alex Bezaikov, you may think, you've watched him on YouTube and think this guy is just a YouTube sensation and the hype is not real. The hype is real. This kid is an absolute monster. He knows his preparation. He knows his training. He's very diligent. He's very professional and very considered. And he may feel that that will allow him to apply more power early. A moment ago, we heard Ryan talk about the fact that he feels that if this turns into an endurance situation, the pendulum of opportunity swings towards him. That may be true. Maybe Schoolboy is thinking that. Maybe Alex has got that in his mind somewhere and he feels like, you know what, if I can apply more pressure early, I have enough of a horsepower advantage to literally drive through this man and make the match boring, unentertaining, clinically efficient.
Oh, it's going to be a genuine banger. Now, we have no dog in any of these fights. We like supporting our countrymen, but we all have a bit of laugh. But I just need one word, Neil. Ryan or Schoolboy?
It's never that easy for me.
Ryan, he
Never
picked.
that easy.
Wow,
Right.
you picked. No.
I will tell you what I feel. I feel early, Schoolboy is the favorite in this match. And if you were looking for an educated bet, I would go with Alex Bezaikov. I really would. Because he's the bigger man. He's got more speed. That aside, I think that a lot of people are writing this match off. They think it's very much the one-sided match. And maybe it is if Alex has that strength advantage. He does have the initiation advantage, and he may just blaze through. But here at King of the Table, we're arm wrestling over a lot of rounds. To do the same thing time and time again is difficult. That is where the intrigue of this match lies for me. Because one thing I will say about Ryan Bowen is he's a very good arm wrestler. He's also very brave, and he wears pressure well. This is a man who's carried the delusional tag for so many years, and that pressure has built, he's been immersed in it most of his career, and that has hardened the man. It's allowed him to arm wrestle under those conditions, and I think he has the opportunity to silence a lot of people tonight and swing for the fences. He knows he's the underdog, and in most cases, people will believe he's the underdog. But if the match turns ugly, if he can get the stop, he's very comfortable in that kind of scenario. And then a bigger man can ask themselves a lot of questions. There's no one can take the edge off you in an arm wrestling match like yourself. If you start to doubt yourself, and let's cut Alex some slack here. The man is in his 20s.
He's young.
He is
He's
young.
called schoolboy for a reason.
What I would ask is that everybody watching this, regardless of the outcome tonight, if it doesn't go well for either athlete, try and understand what these guys are dealing with. All the pressure.
Yeah.
You guys watching at home, Alex is an unbelievably talented arm wrestler, and I'd like to see Alex come to the table tonight and cut all that pressure loose. Just go in there and show what he's capable of.
Yeah, if he wins, he wins. If he loses, he loses. I think it's going to be incredible. And whether you're watching on the Voice of Arm Wrestling or the Aussie Arm Wrestler YouTube channel, there's no better time than now to buy the pay-per-view. I mean, you've got Ryan Bowen, you've got Schoolboy. It's a match we've wanted for years. It's going to be brilliant. Just buy the pay-per-view right now. Have a break, get ready, because it's going to be brilliant. But you and I, we could talk about that match for an hour, but we've got to roll on. We've got to go to the next one. And the big boys are coming. The big boys are coming to play. Georgi Zauranov and Revas Lutudze. Revas is coming in at 170 kilos. Now, say what you want at home, what you think about Revas as 170 kilos. 170 kilos is 170 kilos. That is one heavy, bad man. What are your thoughts on the size of Revas coming into this one?
In arm wrestling, size matters for sure. But when people talk about size, it's not just weight. It's frame. It's structure. If you look at the greatest of all time in most people's book, it's the perfect storm, John Brasink. And you may look at John and feel to yourself, well, this guy isn't so big. But if you take a closer look again, you'll see that he has elements of him that are definitely not ordinary for a man of that weight. Colossal thumb, huge, wide palm, structurally extremely solid. If you look at Georgi Zauranov tonight, you will see a man who is structurally ridiculous. Yeah. This is a man who showed up at the WAF World Championships, elite level, and he ran through it at his first attempt.
Blitzed everyone, yeah, first go.
That is almost unheard of. Who does that? You show up at the WAF Worlds a year into the sport and you've got the ability and horsepower to win. You are something very different. If you look at Lutudze, Revas is training amongst monsters. Iron sharpens iron. And the Georgian trains in one of the most difficult environments in the sport. This is an incredibly interesting matchup. Structurally, I would love to see this thing hit the hook.
In the middle,
If this is the hook, oh my word, it is on. I think Revas is going to try very hard not to let that happen. He's going to try and disappoint us again at home and finish this thing quick. He did it with Dave Chafee, another structurally strong man. He'll try the same tonight. I'd love to see him fail in that endeavor and this thing land in a flat hook, and let's see who's the horsepower, because you know what? When the match does stop, Revas is able to contest it there as well. Remember the match with Monster Michael Todd? The guy has some grunt.
Yeah,
that's what I hope happens.
He can go, yeah, I hope so as well, because we know Zauranov doesn't mind being 2-0 down and coming back and winning matches. And I'm glad that he has come back on to the big stage in super matches, because it has been a while since we've seen Georgi hit the table here. So then with a frame like Georgi, can he tire out? Because you were saying we know Revas has got grunt, but he was a bit lighter back in the Monster Michael Todd matches. He was a bit lighter with the matches against Letton and so on. So at that 170, if Georgi can get him in that hook, can Revas hold on over the 6-7 round super match format?
I think it's going to be very, very critical, the position that the match takes tonight for both arm wrestlers. In all strength sports, in all combat sports, and in most sports, to be honest, it's how close to your red line you are contesting the match. That's what we're looking at here. It's easy. If your 100 meters is 10, 11 seconds, you can run at that, and you know you can. You try to make it in 9, you push to try and break that barrier, and you will be destroyed, where otherwise you might be able to do it 3 times in the day. And this is going to be a similar situation. These guys are sprinters. They're going to go flat out. For Georgi Zauranov, I think he knows that he needs to make this match stop, and he needs to make it frame on frame. And I think in that environment lies his best opportunity to win. If you're Revas, you want to get a dominant position very early. That could be just off the hit, straight to the pad, or it could be getting to a dominant position and trying to put some bleed into Zauranov. That could be the opportunity here. We're going over 6 rounds, I said earlier, so strategy becomes very important. And if I was Revas, I wouldn't necessarily look to just blast this thing to the pad all the time. First match, sure, a rangefinder, see what you can do. But if you can get that dominant position in round 2, put some bleed into the man.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who will get the stop, who will come out attacking early. I like the way Revas will hit it. He's an absolute freight train. But yeah, if Revas gets 2-0 up, I still wouldn't count out Zauranov. His history speaks for itself. He is unbelievable and he is framed. But you're speaking about speed. And you've always said Lachlan Adair is fast as F. I mean, we'll keep it a bit PG. This match is going to be brilliant. But I want Coach Ray, if he is around, can we get a Lachlan Adair to the table? It's kind of like, I'm very good friends with Lachlan. You're very good friends with the White Orc.
Yeah, I'm
Paul Lynn.
emotionally invested in this match. I love Lachlan Adair, but the White Orc's my boy. Paul Lynn may come into this match as an underdog, but one thing you can say about Paul Lynn, and we saw it last night in the stare down, he is an absolute warrior. We've seen him go into matches where he started as an underdog. Sasha Andreev, nobody expected him to do what he did.
No.
Tell me something I can't do, right? Well, tonight's another opportunity. He starts an underdog on most people's cards because this is a bigger man and a guy with pedigree. But tonight, I think this one could steal the show. I genuinely believe these guys both believe they are the stronger man. That makes for an entertaining arm wrestling match because neither man's going to run. You saw it in the stare down last night.
Oh,
nose to
that
nose,
stare
eye
down.
to eye, let's go. What better way to start a match when both men believe they've got the horsepower? I can't wait for this match.
And drop it in the comments. Do you think my man here, Lachlan Adair, can win it all? Do you think that this match will steal the show? Just drop it in there. What's going to be your match of the night? Lachlan, mate, hey, we're here again. Hey, this is like our home away from home.
Here again.
You know I'm always excited when you're on the table. Were you surprised that Paul Lynn has come in as heavy as Paul Lynn has come in?
Yeah, he came in heavier than me.
Yeah, which, like when you were saying you were coming to the 105 and the match was announced with Paul, I was like, oh, you'll have 5-6 kegs on him. But
Yeah, it was a shock.
yeah.
It was a shock.
So then
Genuine shock.
when Paul comes in and told us his weight, we were just like, wow, Skinny Boy's got even skinnier.
Skinny boy got even skinnier, but all my arm wrestling muscles stayed the same size, so should be all right.
And now everyone wants to know that stare down. It's dominated the press conference. It's what everyone's been talking about the last 24 hours. Have you and Paul crossed paths since then? It got a bit weird. Like I thought, oh, Lachlan and Paul doing their thing. And then it got a bit weird. It was nose to nose. And I thought, wow, we're on. We're on here.
Paul and I are pretty well known for flipping the switch when it's showtime. So, you know, we're great mates off the table. When it comes to the table, I rip his fucking arm off.
We said it at the press conference. It was a gentleman's agreement. Round 1 in the hook. Are we still go on the gentleman's agreement?
I am. I'm fine.
Well, I think we'll go in there. Lachlan, thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, and we'll get your opponent up on the stage, of course, there. Thank you very much. That is the Anvil, Lachlan Adair. Lachlan versus Paul is just, it's what you dream of with arm wrestling. They've got
Jake,
the
we
look.
said it a moment ago, mate. As that guy left this stage, could you not feel the confidence come
Oh,
out?
he
is
oozes confidence. If he could jar it,
Absolutely.
his confidence in a jar, and sell it on eBay, Lachlan Adair would be a multi-millionaire.
I think these guys both believe that they are going to be able to access their top. There's nothing better than going into a match and thinking to yourself, you know what, I think I'm going to get what I need here. When a guy's a technical challenge for you, when a guy's going to try and get around you, try and take away your power, there's something a little concerning, a little scary in that. When you think that the guy that you're facing is going to go exactly where you want to be, it's exciting, it's visceral. And the White Orc, Paul Lynn, and Lachlan Adair, I believe you're going to see it.
Oh, it's going to be brilliant. They're the perfect saying. You like to say it all the time, test your frame. You're not going to get anything better than Paul Lynn and Lachlan Adair. And speaking of Lindiana Jones, Paul Lynn, come to the stage, my man. Join the pre-show. And thank you all for watching. And thank you all, because I know after this, you're going to get in there and buy the pay-per-view. It is going to be brilliant. This is one of the best, if not the best King of the Table card in their 11-event history. It is going to be brilliant. Paul Lynn, mate. Oh, hang on. I'll tell you what. Neil, you take my microphone. This is your boy.
Listen, Paul Lynn came into this match for me like he does with most matches, with absolute dedication, professionalism, and focus. And walking into the venue for the first time and setting eyes on him, once again, he stepped me back because I figured he'd be the smaller man. No. The diligence that this guy always shows is why so many people love him, and he looks like he has been carved from marble, and it's all quality. You look at Lachlan Adair, it's a mirror image. And Paul, I can see that there is a real simmering, sinister aggression about you, mate.
Buddy, it is what it is. We all got our demons. I tame mine as much as possible. This is a release for me. I do my talking between the goes and the pins.
How hard is it for you to contain everything that you feel in here right now? Because it can see it simmering for the last hour. You've been just quietly pacing around here. You've got your lady here. You've got your boy here. Link's seeing his dad do what he does. And it must be difficult to maintain that focus and just chill until it's time.
For sure. It's an everyday struggle for me. Like, as a person, my personality, I have to keep those demons in check. And I've done my best through arm wrestling to do that and use positive energy. But for me, competition is a release and an opportunity to do what feels most comfortable for me and let some of that out.
Now, we had Lachlan up here a moment ago, and he spoke about the fact that both of you guys are known for your ability to flip the switch, to turn on when it's time to turn on. Last night, we saw a very intense stare-down between you and Lachlan, and yet we all know that we've seen you around the venue here. There's massive respect. Talk to me about that a little bit. Is there any personal there? Do you need that? Do you need to focus? Or is it just a matter of fact?
We're buddies. We started just about the same time. There's a lot of similarities between us as human beings, how we approach training, diet, all that stuff. Like, he's one of the guys that I don't think I can outwork this guy. He's going to work just as hard. But because of that, and because of some of the things he brings to the table, I think we're going to bring the best out of each other.
Now, you're also known for being pretty understated, Paul. You're not the guy that writes it on the T-shirt. You just prefer to come and bring it. A lot of people see you as an underdog here. How do you see you? Are you the underdog?
I'm the consummate underdog. Consummate. Even if the odds don't say, I convince myself that I am, because I fight better climbing uphill.
Yeah, beautiful. Look at that. That's Captain America right there, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck to you, Paul Lynn. You know I love you, buddy. It's going to be brilliant there. We're about 10 minutes away from wrapping up this pre-show, so we're going to go through as quick as we can with the next 4 matches. So you've got time to buy the pay-per-view. I mean, just hearing Lachlan and Paul speak, for me, that alone's worth the pay-per-view. What they have brought promotion-wise, confidence-wise, that match alone is going to buy and bring and make the pay-per-view exciting. And so is the next match. Michael Todd, Lars Robak. I tell you, press on press. King's move on King's move. Don't throw up in your mouths, but you will see a King's move at some stage in that match. I'm enjoying the comeback of Michael after the bicep tear.
You say we'll see a King's move, will we? Because sometimes you see a King's move when you can't access where you want to be. And there's a part of me feels like these guys tonight on opposite sides of this table are going to try to prove a point. We got a similar situation where one man is coming in as a heavy favorite. His last match, he was denied access to his renewed bicep. He couldn't get where he needed to be. I talked about it a moment ago. Someone trying to work around you, not through you. Different tonight. He's facing a guy from Norway who doesn't know how to run away. And what's most interesting when you look at these two arm wrestlers is that they have access to the same technical repertoire. They both can hook. They both can press. They both can go open and kings. They've got every box ticked. And more interesting than that, if you look at these two guys in terms of physical stats, length of arm, there is
dead even. Yeah, it'd be a bees.
Millimeters between them. Millimeters.
Elbow to fingertip. And I think the big X factor about this match is round 1, because we all know Lars, he presses better than an iron on a wrinkled shirt. We know that's his main move, and we know Michael loves the King's move. But yeah, like you're saying, it doesn't automatically mean that they're going to go there. And I think in round number 1 that they're going to try something different to shock the other person. So will Michael come in for a hook? Will Michael come in and press? Or what will Lars do? Will Lars show?
Well,
that
if you
he's
break
got
this
more
down on the
weapons?
numbers, Jake, you've got a situation where one man is seen to have one advantage over the other, and it's speed. If you're Michael Todd and you think, I can light this match up off the start, can you? If Lars denies that and he does go open. Or if you're Lars, do you think that I'm going straight at this guy at 100 miles an hour and I'll put the brakes on, we'll see who's the presser. It's what's going through these guys' minds when they're behind that curtain that matters most, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and they've probably, outside of what you see here, guys, they've probably been the two more quieter people. You know, you be around events and everyone's up and about and they're talking about what's going on. They've been more reserved than usual with Lars and Michael. So I'm really interested when they get to the table, their body language, their mindset, and how they go about this match, because they both know it's very important, because there's a future world title shot in the cards for the winner.
I want to bring Ray Lipinge in. He's sat just over here, and Ray and me have spoken about this a lot. We were out today, and he sees this potentially as the best match on the card. Do you want to tell everybody at home exactly why, Ray?
Ooh, why? Because both of the guys have the same weapons. They, Mike kind of ends up in a king's move when he cannot top roll you, right? So, or open top roll. And Lars, if he feels he cannot press you, he goes for that top roll. So Lars has a lot of the abilities that is needed to beat Michael, but Michael does all the same things that Lars does. So there's possibility we will see press to press, right? And also Lars can have a nice open top roll. So I'm thinking there's no way this match ends quick. There's no way in any shape or form any of those guys win quick from round 1 to 3. Afterwards, maybe some quick starts. Mike is known to have a great switch up between the press and the top roll. So we might see that, but I think it's going to be open war, similar to we have seen past from Michael Todd. And Lars Robak is here to bring it, his 3rd appearance, and I think he wants to make a statement. There is rankings on the line, and there is an opportunity for championship if Mike wins. So I think there's a lot of stakes for this one. So they're going to give their absolute all.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be a brilliant match, guys. That is match number 4 on the card. And then the next match, we've got the arm wrestler in Kitagali Ongabayev taking on Oleg Patrenko. And Ray, you've said it before in times. You think that Oleg, his 2018, 2019 form is peak. Now, he's come out and says he's at the same level, if not better than that. Is that going to cause a lot of problems for Kitagali? Are we not so much overrating Kitagali, but are we probably underrating Oleg's potential in this match?
I think a lot of people are looking some of the Oleg's matches in the past year, and they're thinking, but I think he has gone through a lot of stuff, and now he's coming into, I think, sound mind and sound body, and I think we're going to see something spectacular. Kitagali is known for finding the right escape routes, right? And he has something to prove in this match. He wants to take that title back. He lost the title. Patrenko still hasn't had his opportunity to pull for the title. So I think, again, another match where the title is kind of on the line, or an opportunity to get to that title match. Kitagali, we have seen many times, as talked about, as one of the most fluent arm wrestlers we have. Great example of switching between techniques, fast moving through techniques, and just like it's a delight watching him pull. Patrenko,
Absolutely.
So much power. Like that power that is generated from his arm is insane. He will not give up. So I'm giving a little bit favor to Patrenko, but I think it will be a war.
It's going to be a brilliant match. And just quickly, Neil, before we move on to the next match, is Kitigali's finesse that you mentioned earlier, is that going to be enough to take on an Oleg Patrenko?
I think Ray nailed it a moment ago. When you look at Oleg Patrenko, you're looking at a guy whose lineage is from Andrei Pushko, Ukraine pain train. He will run you over, don't stand on the tracks. And this man came up with the same style, with the same coaching, and he will throw his frame into the match. And he will do that when tired. Few people will do that round after round when they've been exposed, but we've seen Patrenko do it, and we know he will do it again. If you're going into this match and you're Kirigali Onabay, if you know that you need to make this match go onto the A side, your winning side of the table, you cannot afford to run backwards too much. Now, the interesting thing there is that if Kirigali goes with a low hand and tries to move backwards and take the risk, that opens the opportunity for the press. He needs to pick his weapons very carefully here, because you do not want to be pinned underneath the shoulder of Oleg Patrenko. The man is biblical strong.
Oh, he's almost like a mythical creature. Just seeing his frame here and the way he's looking is unbelievable. So, yeah, early on paper, everyone thought Kirigali was going to run over Oleg, but now seeing Oleg, I think this match is 50-50 down the line. I think it's going to be incredible, and I hope you guys watching on the Voice of Arm Wrestling or Aussie Arm Wrestlers channel hope that this match is going to be incredible, and that is 5 down, and with 2 to go, semi-main event, and for the first time in a while, back-to-back left-hand matches are headlining the card, and Vitaly Letton and the Golden Dragon, Kamil Jablonski. Kamil, another person oozing with confidence. Can he get to the strap? That's probably the number one question a lot of people watching this have been asking. Can Kamil Jablonski get out of that vice grip that is Vitaly Letton?
There are options in this arm wrestling match for both men. But I talked to you a moment ago about the guessing game that needs to go on. Kamil Jablonski is in the ascendancy. This is a guy that a lot of people don't know a great deal about until recently. He pulls Devon Larratt, and all of a sudden, wow, who the hell is this guy? And if you look at the manner in which he arm wrestles, it's similar to Jerry Caderet. And we all know how awkward that is. But what I would say is, it's like a young Jerry Caderet. This guy is explosive, incredibly quick, and he is the hunter, not the hunted. And that can give you the edge. He's nervous, he's scared, and he wants to win really bad, Jake. I don't see any route through that apart from one which takes extreme bravery from Letton. And that would be to move backwards quickly and then jump on top of the hand. That's his one route to slowing that down. If he fails to time it correctly, wow.
Ray, can he do that? Can Vitaly do exactly what Neil's describing?
Kamil would be mad at you to just give this tip to Vitaly, but Vitaly doesn't speak English, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be brilliant. This match has been a short time coming. It was a good replacement for our, unfortunately, original main event not coming in. What would be the X factor for both athletes in order to win this match?
Get the strap for Kamil. Don't compromise your back pressure for Vitaly, right? So Vitaly gets in position where he allows Kamil to get his shoulder behind, and they stay there long enough. It's gonna take a lot away from you. And one thing I know from the last match that Kamil had versus Tobias, Tobias said that his side pressure died out. He couldn't resist the center power. Kamil's stayed strong, and at the end, he was dominant. Real question is, can he get away from the grip? We know Vitaly Letton has one of the strongest grips on the planet, if not the strongest. And I know 2 people that are pulling today here. Vitaly injured them while they tried to slip. Even Matyushenko and Revas. So I'm excited to see how that riddle is solved, because we have seen many times where Vitaly will not allow you to slip. And if you don't have a good top roll where you fight him on top, it's hard to slip with that man.
One thing that we haven't spoken about here as well, which is really important from where I'm standing here, is the title implications. I mean, we're seeing tonight the main event. Morozov is here, title match, but the title implications here, I mean, the winner of this match has they can make a statement. It's the kind of position you put yourself in where you can say, should I not be next? You are stepping into the light, and that's exciting to me.
Yeah, absolutely, to hit in top 3. And let's go straight into the main event. Morozov and Matyushenko. Morozov defending his title. He's gone from a bigger to well, you can't call Matyashenko smaller, but he took on Alex Kadecha, 150 kilos, and now he's taking on Ivan Matyashenko, who's coming in at 115 and some change, maybe a little bit over. Ray, a lot of people doubt Matyashenko, but when you saw at the face-off, he's similar height to Morozov. You could say similar strength to Morozov, and boy, oh boy, that hook of Matyashenko, wow.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of concerns me, I think if Ivan can get inside from the first rounds, he will have some problems in the later rounds because endurance of Artyom Morozov is insane. He has been through some wars. But if Ivan can go through fast, taking not much damage, he might pull it off. More I look at this match, more even it gets in my eyes. I'm really excited to see because we all know the hooking ability of Ivan Matyashenko is legendary.
Oh, it is. And Neil, before we wrap up the pre-show, because all these dead set legends are watching and they're itching and they're getting ready to buy the pay-per-view when we wrap up, where do you see this main event going? Left arm, super heavyweight champion. I'm not asking for a prediction, but I'm asking, are we going in the hook? Is it the endurance for Morozov? Where's the pronation going to be protected or taken away? Where is this main event going to go? Right here in the middle of the table.
For me, Jake, the story of this match is told in the first 2 rounds. Listen, in Ivan Matyashenko, you are dealing with an assassin. And assassins work quietly. They work in the shadows. They work in the dark. And that is a threat that this man represents. He will put Morozov into a position, forget about size for a moment. Forget about size. This is a guy that will put you in a horrible position. You can talk about size and the benefit of size and structure and all these things and the athleticism of the champion. But he's facing a unicorn. This is a unique individual. This is a rare breed. And the first 2 rounds, we'll get to see the initial hit and the second one, micro adjustments. If Matyashenko can't land what he needs in those first 2 rounds, I think he's going to be in deep water and out of his depth tonight. That's my honest opinion. By contrast, if he lands the first or the second round, I think Artyom Morozov will find himself in a really unusual battle where he needs to focus very carefully on what he does next. Because you are given no opportunity to breathe. When this guy steps out of the darkness, headshot dead. He puts you to sleep. This isn't a guy that, if you look at his resume, he's there battling for hours. When this guy lands what he wants, it's game over.
Oh, it's going to be brilliant. That is your main event. You have, for the Super Heavyweight Championship, on the left arm, you have Ivan Matyashenko challenging the Terminator, Artyom Morozov. How can you not get excited for that? That is going to be brilliant, and that is going to be live in just 15 minutes' time. We're going to wrap up the pre-show right now, and you just got to go. Get ready, get excited, because wherever you are around the world, you don't want to miss any of these 7 matches. It's going to be brilliant. This has been Coach Ray. This has been the Mother Fluffer, Neil Pickup. I'm the Aussie arm wrestler, Jake Ward, and we will see you live for King of the Table 11, headlined by Ivan Matyashenko versus Artyom Morozov.